Ladies and gentlemen, you know him as the co-host of the nationally syndicated radio shows, the Kent Craddock Morning Show on 106.1 KISS FM and the Hollywood 5. Please welcome our host of the 2018 Big Idea Competition, J.C. Chavez.
We might be in the presence of the next billionaire out here. I was hoping for someone to come up with a cool beard contraption to make mine grow, or as I like to call it, a beard? Because that's what you're probably wondering, is that a beard? And my wife is the one that told me I should grow this out, and I realized it's because nobody will come up to me and talk to me. You know, like they think I'm sick, so it's really safe for me to have this beard. But I am really excited. I'm from Mexico City, and so I'm an immigrant. And coming to the States, becoming an entrepreneur is a big deal, especially for my mom. So she decided she wanted to start her own little business, making chocolate popsicles, and she got the mold and everything, and she spent her life savings on it, about $250, not too much. And the chocolate, she melted it down, she made all the little lollipops, put the sticks in there, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, 9 years old, and ate them all. Yeah, so that's where my mom's little venture ended, and that was my fault. But I'm really excited to be hosting the Big Idea Competition, and we'll keep it going right now. I want to introduce a friend of mine on stage right now. Everybody, please welcome Megan Mokes from RevTech Ventures.
Good evening. I am thrilled to be here. I'm Megan Mokes, Director of Community Development for RevTech Ventures. We are a venture capital fund based in Dallas with a focus on early stage investments at the intersection of retail and technology, and huge supporters of UTD's mission to grow the entrepreneurial community. So it was about 2 months ago, I learned that I'd be introducing the king of fashion, Tan France, as a judge. Do you know just how much pressure that puts on someone? That means I have literally spent the last 60 days searching and searching for the perfect outfit. Sorry it's not a French tuck tan, but I hope it made you proud. On behalf of RevTech and the Wiley Family Foundation, I'm pleased to welcome this year's judges to the stage for the Big Idea Competition. Please hold your applause until I've introduced all the evening's judges. Judges, as I call your name, please join me on stage and be seated at the judges' table. Tan France has been a successful fashion designer behind the scenes for over 15 years. He is a star of the Emmy Award-winning makeover hit on Netflix reboot, Queer Eye. Jason Story is a co-founder and general partner with Interlock Partners, an early-stage venture capital firm, returning again this year as title sponsors for the Big Idea Competition. Brian DeLuca is an entrepreneur as the co-founder and former CEO of Foot Cardigan, and now serves as the VP of Marketing and Consumer Engagement for Merchandising Leader and this year's presenting sponsor, BioWorld. One of my good friends, Samantha Coletti, is a Senior Vice President for Silicon Valley Bank in Dallas-Fort Worth, longtime supporters of entrepreneurship at UT Dallas. Alex Robertson, associate with Benson & Elkins, represents entrepreneurs and investors in the formation, financing, and operation of technology and growth companies. Is co-founder of OnPoint Technologies, the nation's leading supplier of drone technology for schools and STEM organizations. She is a proud UT Dallas graduate and also a Big Idea Competition award winner from last year. And Nate Nelson, Dallas-based Senior Director, joining us from Point B Management Consulting, first time Big Idea Competition Award sponsors. Now please join me in welcoming this year's judges.
That's me not being a professional walking by the speaker and talking to the microphone. But we do have a lot of professionals here, or future professionals, like I said. We have 6 different teams that are going to be pitching you ideas on stage. Here's what's going to happen. They're all going to have 5 minutes each to pitch you their ideas. Then the judges are going to have some time to deliberate and ask some questions and maybe make some jokes with them if they want. I don't know, maybe some fashion advice. After all the judges and the pitches, they're going to be invited back. The judges are going to be invited backstage to deliberate. And then the timekeeper is going to keep all the time for us. So you guys got to make sure that you don't use all your 5 minutes or past that. So, timekeeper, are you ready? Judges, are you ready? Audience, are you ready? Well, let's bring the first team out on stage. Please welcome Survivor.
In 2017, just last year, there were 129 police officers who lost their lives in the line of duty, along with 987 civilians who were shot and killed by law enforcement. Now, keep in mind that these numbers don't include injuries, which are in the tens of thousands. In today's world of dangerous situations, there must be a better way to train our law enforcement. That's why we're creating Survivor, a virtual reality platform that features immersive law enforcement training. VR allows us to create hands-on training scenarios that look and behave just like the real world, so our officers will be ready for any situation. Let's take a look at our MVP. Here, our CTO on the bottom left is showing what could possibly happen when confronting an armed suspect in a school building. They could either reach behind them, pull out a gun, and aim at you like this, in which case you have to defend yourself or risk your life. Or, in this case, they may actually comply with your voice commands by dropping their weapon, putting their hands in the air, and then proceeding to get down on the ground when prompted. In this case, you have successfully de-escalated the situation without having to use any means of violence. One more thing, along with losing hundreds of lives per year, there's also a problem with the social tension between our officers and civilians. A large part of the broken trust in our communities comes from incidents involving unconscious bias. VR allows us to alleviate this by randomizing suspect appearances and analyzing training outcomes to ensure that every human representation is treated equally. We plan to generate scalable and recurring revenue by selling subscriptions to police departments. Our cost is based on volume, which is critical because our goal is to make sure that every department in the US can access training. And here's what it looks like annually per department. We can even upsell our product each year by adding new training scenarios for the thousands of officers and departments in the US. Given these numbers and an average cost of $100K per year, our total addressable market is about $1.8 billion. And that's before expanding to adjacent markets such as the military with topics like counterterrorism. And let's not forget about foreign countries, which also have limited resources to train their law enforcement. Needless to say, this is a significant business opportunity, and we have the perfect team to execute it. We're the co-founders of Emosis, a VR agency that we bootstrapped to 6 figures in annual revenue since 2016. We have many years of VR experience and have proven our ability to grow a tech company with numerous clients. We also represented Texas at Facebook's Global Hackathon last year, where we won 2nd in the world. Meanwhile, Rob over here is an accomplished ex-detective, patrol officer, and trainer of 12 years, so he's well connected and understands the problem deeply. We also have a formal advisory board with executives from VC-backed companies and Dr. McMahon, UTD's award-winning VR professor. Currently, we have demo interest from over 25 police departments, so our next goal is to gain letters of intent from at least 5 of them so that we can pilot Survivor, gain additional feedback, and build our way into their annual budget. Once we finish piloting and adding more training scenarios, we'll sell to more local departments and expand to the rest of our connections. One more thing, Survivor was recently selected as the only UT Dallas team to advance to the top 5 finalists of Disrupt Texas, the largest undergrad pitch competition in this state. To summarize, the lives of both our police officers and civilians like us are at risk when we have inadequately trained officers on the streets. To solve this, police training must reflect the real world and be available to every department in the US. We are Survivor, and we're changing the way that police training is done for the better. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm in college eating Cheetos, playing video games, and you guys created VR to train police officers. That's pretty good. Now we're gonna go to the judges. Judges, do you have any questions for Survivor?
Hello.
Don't all speak at once, guys. Come on.
Hey, great job up there.
Thank you.
I've been nominated to provide fashion advice for all of you. All right, you guys are great job.
Thanks.
So my question is in terms of scaling, right? So where are you at in terms of scaling? How do you approach that in the next 1 or 2 years, right? I see your roadmap out there, but is the technology and the product ready to do that? Will it be, or what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Actually, it's really inexpensive for these headsets. A headset and the computer setup and everything, each individual one is roughly $2,000, whereas competitor hardware is roughly $250,000 for a stagnant setup. So it's very easy to scale this technology to these large departments and deploy several hundred of these headsets out, and it's no problem.
Yeah, and I will add to that on the financial aspect of it. This is what we project for the next 4 years. This is with our understanding of the sales cycles for police departments, our experience as a tech company, and the $50,000 of our own profit that we have dedicated just to Survivor. And this is assuming completely bootstrapped. If we were, say, to get funding, we would be able to scale a lot quicker because we'd be able to focus our resources.
Is there, you may have mentioned this, I think there was a lot of information taken. Is there truly nothing like this on the market already? Like, are you the first?
So there are a few other products on the market right now, one of which is a stagnant virtual reality setup that costs $250,000 per unit.
Okay.
Ours is a completely mobile setup that is 100% immersive. You have that 360 view. This competitor is, I believe, 180 degrees. You can't reload the guns.
Okay.
They have these plastic joystick controllers. All our competitors, we have actual weighted guns, and this is an actual complaint from the police stations we've talked to, that it's not realistic at all. So there's not really anything like what we have on the market.
So, you have a follow-up?
I've got like a part A, B, and C. Sorry, I'm almost done, I promise. I brought you here for a week. No, okay. So my follow-up question to that is, if there's already technology that's similar, not the same, how's it been received? Has it done, even though it's more expensive, have you found that it works? How do we know that this works?
So I worked for the Henderson Police Department, Henderson, Nevada, and they're one of the agencies that bought this $250,000 system. I have personally been inside of it, and it was really nice for the timing. But when I experienced what Survivor and VR was like, it was blown away. This is not a project for me, guys. I'm a police officer. I've lived it. I understand the need, and what these guys have done has been a sheer miracle.
Awesome. Okay, so has there been any traction with any departments? Where are they? What is the pushback you've received from them? Why would they not do this?
That's the best part of this. I've been on the phone with over 20 agencies in the last couple of weeks, and they can't wait for us to get to them with a demo. When I told them what it was like for myself as a former officer and what it can do for their agency and the money they save, my agency had 450 officers, and their training budget alone was $15 million a year. Because there's a ton of liability out there, so there's a huge opportunity here for all the agencies.
Thank you so much, Survivor.
I've got the quickest.
Dan, you have the most questions I've ever heard.
I know, I'm so sorry, I like to talk. Okay, final question. So the technology seems great. My question, I guess, is there some kind of training package? How do you train people on this? Are you guys going out there? Is there some comprehensive training plan that's involved? Because it's not something you can just give them, otherwise it's a computer game. Like how do you get it from the point where it's not just a computer game, they are comprehensively trained?
So actually, we will have on-site training when we initially give it to them.
Who will conduct that?
Our team.
Okay.
We conduct that, our team, we will go to their location
I'm
and
going to
give
stop you
them
one more
training.
time. That doesn't seem massively scalable. If there's only 4 of you, what if you sent this out across the world? Who goes out?
Right now, for the initial, say, 20 to 30 police departments, we're flying out there ourselves to make sure that this is done correctly, that police departments truly understand how it's done, and how we built the system. But as the product and the business scales, we were going to establish a customer success team that handles training and onboarding, as well as any questions and complaints the police officer teams may have. And this is something that I've read from a lot of software as a service companies, that they've established this kind of team to handle this at scale.
Drop that mic.
Oh, no, don't drop it. It's expensive. Unless Cam pays for it, then we're going to do it. Everybody, please give it up one more time for Survivor. Well done, guys. Questions out here. Well done, guys. Well done. We're going to keep this moving. It gets better and better and better. I mean, that's pretty tough to beat right there. Who's placed number 2 in the world at anything in here? They have. But our second group, please give it up for Code Blue Jewelry.
Hi everyone, my name is Nungwin and I am the founder of Code Blue Jewelry. I am here today to introduce the medical bracelet that women enjoy wearing. Working in the healthcare industry, I know firsthand how important it is to have critical patient information communicate effectively during the critical hours, which could make a significant difference in patient clinical outcome. As of today, there are 54 million women in America who suffer from rare or critical conditions that require them to wear some sort of medical identification for their own safety. 95% of the first responder have been reported that they will first look for some sort of medical identification when they first arrive at the scene of emergency to assess the patient. However, 93% of patients who got treated in the emergency department did not have any medical record or medical information available at the point of admission. So my question, what would happen to people like Jennifer, who have a rare medical condition but was unable to communicate for herself? If it takes the doctor 10 minutes to figure out what's wrong with Jennifer, it's already 9 minutes too late. And while that clock is ticking, that 9 minutes could make a significant difference in Jennifer's quality of life. That's why when my doctor recommended a medical bracelet, I took his suggestions seriously. I spent hours and hours every single day to search for a medical bracelet that I would want to wear. I was looking for something that well-made, functional, but also appropriate for work. Something that I should be able to wear with confidence while presenting that big idea proposal to my client. And I thought that was just a bare minimum requirement. But oh boy, little did I know, these are the only options on the market that I could find for elegant medical bracelet. And that is frustrating because living with a medical condition is overwhelming. And the last thing that we need is a medical bracelet that make us feel stigmatized. This is why millions of women who suffer from rare critical condition but refuse to wear medical bracelet just because of the way it looks. And when I realized there's a gap in the market between what the customer really wants and what the market currently offers, I started Code Blue Jewelry to fill in that gap and to redesign a medical bracelet that women can wear with confidence and that can empower them to live beyond their medical condition. Last August, we launched our first collection. And by the end of last year, we already sold over 1,000 medical bracelets. This year, we are on track to reach $160,000 in revenue from our e-commerce stores on Etsy.com and Amazon Handmade. For every dollar we spend on marketing, we receive $5 in sales revenue. And most importantly, we have received an overwhelming support from other women in the community who share the same struggle as I did and resonate with our story. Most importantly, our customers love their medical bracelet. We know this because 45% of them come back and repurchase another medical bracelet whenever they have a new medical condition. The jewelry industry is a $19 billion market, and that number has been increased by 15% for the past 3 years. Medical jewelry is a very niche market, about 1% of the total industry, but that's still $190 million of untapped market that we can potentially become a market leader with the right strategy and with our competitive advantage. Most importantly, there are 54 million potential customers who are walking around unprotected just because they do not know about our product yet. And that's why I'm here today, to invite you to join our conversation that could break the negative stigma associated with medical ID. Most importantly, your support for Copeland Jewelry today will empower millions of women like Jennifer to live beyond her medical condition. So join us, and together we can save the life of those women we love. Thank you.
Give it up for Copeland Jewelry.
Here's an example between our product and the current competitor, that one of the major competitor on the market.
Smart, bring the judges gifts, right? Right?
Before Tan hogs all the questions, I gotta get a couple in here. I have a few things. One, how much does it cost? What is the cost of one of these things? What is the cost of goods for one of these things? And how big do you think this thing can be? Because to me, at least on the surface, until maybe you explain a little more, it seems more like a product rather than like a company, right?
Yes. So currently, we have about 40% profit margin for every product we sell. We have 31 medical bracelets in our current collection. They are priced from $40 to $160. And the most popular one is around $50. Yeah, and it depends on the style, the quality of the material, and the level of personalization.
How long have you been selling them?
So we launched in August. That was 15 months ago. Yes.
I have a follow-up question.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
my mom has to wear one of those, and she always complains about how ugly it is.
Yes.
I'm curious to know, are there any governing bodies out there that regulate how these have to look so that the first responders know that it's a medical bracelet and not just a jewelry bracelet?
Yeah, so that is a very good question. So all the first responder would look for these medical alert sample. They are universally recognized. So as long as they are on the medical bracelet, the first responder are trained and know 95% of them look for something like that. So as long as have those samples, they are good to go. But we don't try to reinvent the wheel, but we just try to redesign something that can give people confidence in wearing. And if it's something that you have to wear every day, then you shouldn't have to consider, should I wear this to this black tie event or to my important event? Yeah.
There you go. Floor is yours, Tan. Take it
So many
away.
questions, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna make one comment first. You look fantastic. They did ask me. Brian noticed your Louboutins, like. Okay.
Oh, Brian, I was in mine. Brian, I have beer too, sir.
Lie check.
I hate to be the one to ask this question. You know, I love representation. However, my question is, why only women?
So currently, our customer, we do offer other products as well that for men. So these are the model that for men that we offer.
Okay.
But we include everyone. It's not just women, but majority of our revenue, like 40% of it, came from young women, young early career women, which are about 25 to early 30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then one last question, I promise.
Uh-huh.
So at the moment, it's direct to consumer.
Yes. So we choose a direct-to-consumer model. I don't know how to go back from here. But we choose the direct-to-consumer model ever since we launched because we want to cut out a middleman and the expensive overhead so we can pass the saving on to our customer.
Mm-hmm.
And healthcare in America is very expensive, and I don't want to add another stress factor to the patient who need to know for their own safety. No one have to ever consider, should I wear this? should I have to save up a couple of months in order to buy something for my own safety?
I understand what you're saying. I must admit though, I do feel like you're missing a trick with not offering it to hospitals or something. I mean, I think if I were to have a condition, I would like it to be immediately available, just as a thought.
Yeah, so that's our future goal. We currently direct to the consumer, to the patient, and to the customer. For future goal, we want to do strategic partnership where we will be able to attend more medical conferences to talk with the healthcare provider and hopefully to have our product display in the hospital gift shop. So that's under plan for that.
Tell me about your team.
So currently, my team only by myself so far because we launched 15 months ago. I didn't have the courage to ask if there's anyone willing to work more than 100 hours per week without a salary for a while. So no one took on that challenge, so I haven't been doing that. But we are really fortunate to be where we are today with just one person effort. And every startup, it takes a village for is grow and scale, and if you want to go far, you go. If you want to go fast, you go by yourself. But if you want to go far, then you go together. And I cannot imagine what our future would be like to have a team of brilliant men and women join us. Yeah.
Well done. Well done. We'll keep this going right here. Coming up next, it's getting tough. I'm already glad I'm not a judge because 2 in, I don't even know which one I would pick. Please give it up for PDMS.
All right. Hi everyone. My name is Kevin, and today I'll be pitching to you our device, PDMS. First off, let's meet Eli. Eli was born with muscular dystrophy. That means it prevents him from doing what kids his age enjoy to do the most, such as walking, running, and even playing basketball with their parents. And because of this, it limits his ability. There is, however, a possibility for him in the form of gene therapy. Gene therapy is a process which we take cells from the person of interest. We process them, whereby a protein or a DNA is inserted into the person, and then we insert it back into the person that we've harvested them from. However, gene therapy is very costly, but it will allow Eli to play basketball with his friends in the future. The current stigma with gene therapy, however, is first, the virus. Gene therapy involving virus is the gold standard. It is very difficult, and it also triggers an immune response. And I'm gonna ask the general public, how do you feel about a virus being inserted in you without your general knowledge? No. Of course. Secondly, cost. The cost of gene therapy costs $50,000 per device, as in it trickles down to the consumer itself, ranging from $5,000 to $8,000 per treatment. And that still does not include the medical cost. With this, I would like to trickle down and make it more simple and make it more accessible to Eli and his parents with PDMS. It is a small device, about the size of a quarter. It's rapid. The time that it takes for a cell to traverse the entire device is about a minute. You know, much shorter than this presentation that I'm working on. It's reproducible. Multiple devices can be produced within a short amount of time. And finally, inexpensive. This quality makes PDMS a viability for Eli and his parents and others, in his case, within reach from that $5,000. The device itself is pretty self-explanatory. You know, you load the cells with the protein of interest that will change the cell from one type to another, such as a skin or blood cell, to something that Eli would prefer, such as a muscle cell, which will help him walk. And then in the device, it is stretched. In this stretching motion, it creates pores. These pores allow the protein or DNA of interest that will trigger that change from his skin cell or his blood cells into bone cells, muscle cells, cardiac cells, and even brain neurons, if we want to go there. And upon that stretching, we collect these cells. Here, we have a proof of concept principle whereby a cell has undergone PDMS. The one on the right, as you can see, is red. That means it has taken up the protein of interest. The ones on the left has not, because it did not go through the device. To help on this endeavor, it was a collaborative effort between UTD and UT Southwestern Medical Center. At UTD, my professor and I, Dr. David Schmicke, has worked extensively on microfluidics and published multiple papers in the microfluidic field. Our collaborators, Antonio Fernandez Perez and his mentor, Dr. Nikhil Munshi, are experts in the field of cell transformation, and Dr. Munshi himself is our clinical scientist to help us in this endeavor. Now, let's talk about device accessibility. We want this device to be in the reach of people and help people with muscular dystrophy or other ailments such as Parkinson's, myocardial infarction, and liver disease, give them the chance to do what they do best. However, each of these treatments range from $50,000 to $100,000 per year, and that is due to the cost of the virus prep itself. 90% of the treatment of gene therapy stems from the method itself. 10% involves the protein or the DNA. What we want to do is change that paradigm. What if we want to change it from 90% costing of only the protein and that 1% being the device itself? And this is where Cyto PDMS shines in inexpensive and accessibility. It costs just $1 to make. Within our phase, we want to tune this device. We want to make it available to tune it for cardiac cells, smooth muscle cells, and even bone cells. We want to do surface modification, allow it to become more smooth, allow cells to transverse through the device a lot faster, collect more cells, give Eli a better chance at walking. And with that, I'm going to summarize what we've talked about. Cyto's PDMS is a cell transformation device, allowing cells of commonalities such as skin and blood cells to become specialized cells such as cardiac and brain neurons. It is easy and quick to reproduce. We can make multiple of them in one day. Finally, versatility. We can tune it to different cell types, as I mentioned already. And finally, that inexpensive nature allows Cyto PDMS to be in the reach of Eli, his family, and others like him. And thank you for your time.
I didn't understand most of that, but I'll roll with them all day long. You know, like I got smart. Judges, please ask your questions.
First of all, dude, this is some next level shit. So
thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Brian said what I wanted to say. Thank you. Wow.
I broke it already.
Oh, you broke it?
Yeah.
It's only $1. We're good. It's only $1. We're good.
Never mind.
Okay, I should have warned you guys that it was not safe to pick up, but you can't touch it.
You just got some random gene.
So how long before you can produce brain cells?
So brain cells, neurons is a tricky subject. Not necessarily something that we specialize in, but if you're able to isolate the protein that can say take, for example, a skin cell, and we can isolate said specific protein into a brain neuron, that is our only I would say, gate that we have to break through is that protein that we need to isolate, which at the meantime, I have no idea what that protein is. Because these are specialized cells. A brain neuron is not something that you can say, hey, let's take your skin cell, for example, sir, and change it to your brain neuron, make you smarter, or, in some cases, boost your IQ. That's something that's kind of tricky for us to understand at the moment, but brain neurons is a possibility.
So, the kid in the wheelchair with muscular dystrophy at the beginning, you said at some point you think he'll be able to play basketball with his friends or whatever.
In due time.
In due time. What does that mean though? What's that what do you feel like that timeline is?
So currently, muscular dystrophy affects about 3 million people in the US alone. And the current gene therapy methods makes it that only 200 or so participants have access to such gene therapy. And therefore, it makes it a limited timeline in our scope that we have a no conclusive event or idea, but the timeline ranges somewhere 5 years or more.
Quick question here on
Yes.
competition. So there's stem cell therapy, there's even gene editing, the CRISPR and all
Correct.
that. So can you talk a little bit about where you fit in on the competitive spectrum?
So ours is not stem cells because we're not using cells from the premature phase. We're using cells that are already available to everyone, such as your skin cells or your blood cells, as I said before. So we're a little bit above stem cells. We're more just in the process of taking said known cells that will transform based on a protein. So before CRISPR as well. So in that mid-spectrum area.
How far along are you in it? Is it a manufacturing process? How did this come about?
So this came about because our collaborators at UT Southwestern, they were looking for a device that would allow them to insert a huge protein, basically something, if I want to compare, sizes, a golf ball to a basketball, they wanted something in the size of a football into, well, not that shape, but a football into the cell. And that was the reason for them to reach out to us, was we had multiple papers published in microfluidics, and that would allow a good collaborative effort to continue this collaboration between UTD and UT Southwestern. And this device came to fruition basically from our competitor at MIT that designed something that allowed for this, but ours is an advantage because ours is clear. This clarity is the main transparent part of the device. No device on the market as of today allows for visualization of a cell being transformed within the process.
Sorry, JC, I'm going to do it again. I've got a couple.
Go ahead. Tan, you got questions, man? Go ahead.
Thanks. So I heard your story, and I want to jump off what Brian was asking. Is there proof that this works with the boy, that you have the boy who will hopefully play with basketball one day? Has that been proven at this point? How long have you been doing this?
So we haven't necessarily used a cell transformation technique yet. We've only proven as proof of concept. I'll prove it right here. So through this, we have inserted different cargo sizes, such as proteins, or in this case, a sugar, dextran, that cannot be infiltrated by the cell, or this molecule cannot enter the cell freely, okay? We have shown that different size cargo can infiltrate the cell at different speeds.
Okay.
And then, so that's one of the key points, is the versatility. We can do different manipulation, change the speed, change the geometry of the device, and allow for different cells. So back to your question about how far along are we would need a few more months in order to fine tune the device to say, let's place the protein, which is MyoD, not to throw out any scientific terms, but MyoD will allow this transformation of the fibroblasts or the skin cells into the muscle cells that Eli will need.
Okay, thank you. And let's say we love the idea, and what you have achieved is fantastic. My only other really big concern about it is you showed the team members, and they are clearly highly skilled, but no, who's the business person in all of this?
We're looking for a business person. You want to join us?
I mean, I think that's my only concern. Like, the presentation's fantastic. My only concern is these are all academics, and that's wonderful, but business is hard, and you need somebody who's going to be able to help with that.
Right. So that was one of our main concerns, was we don't have that business background. We are missing that business background, and that's something that we're hoping to find within the near future. Someone that knows how to market, someone that knows how to talk. You know,
I'll join.
Right. I'm not that good at talking, but like, we need to find that marketing person, that person that will go like, hey, let's do this, let's get this out there. We need that one person, but it's not me, right? Oh, it's you. Hey, I got you.
So we got Tan a new job, so that's cool. Any more questions, judges?
You know what, on that point, so I understand your ultimate customer, if you will, is the patient.
Yes.
How would they acquire something like this? Have you thought through that in terms of, is this the hospital system, health insurance, how do they?
Right. So currently, most hospitals are the key point to distribution of gene therapy. What we want to do is actually make it accessible to these hospitals, because if the hospitals can save money, which, let's be honest, the hospital doesn't really give you that benefit, hopefully they'll pass it down. Because right now, gene therapy, as I said, it ranges from $3,000 to $8,000 per treatment, and that still doesn't include the medical costs. So if the hospital can take that number and reduce it by, ninefold down to maybe $100 and take consideration of only the protein or the DNA involved, then hopefully they can pass that savings on to the consumer end. And that's our main goal, is to reduce the cost of the gene therapy itself. Yes.
Give it up for Cyto PDMS, everybody.
Hey, real quick, I just want to say, you should have a big part in this, because you clearly are passionate about this thing. So while I agree with Tan that you need a business person, You go do, dude, you are fired up for
Be
this.
the hype man, bro.
You can't duplicate that very easily, so go do it.
Yeah, be the hype man. All right, you got a little hype man action for them. Moving on, everybody. Get ready for Momo Shack.
Hey everyone, my name is Leeson. I have my buddies Thang and Daniel here with me. We're Momo Shack and we're super excited to be here and talk about how we're completely redefining the dumpling experience. Did you know that every region has their own version of dumplings? They truly stretch across cultures and come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and fillings. We have xiaolongbao in China, pierogies in Russia, tortellinis in Italy, samosas in India. These are all well-known dumplings and the list goes on and on. There is one version, though, that most people don't know about, and those are dumplings from Nepal, aka momos. This is exactly where Momo Shack comes into the picture. We're currently a pop-up brand born right here in Dallas, Texas, specializing in authentic momos, soon to be a household dumpling brand nationwide. But first, let's talk about what is a momo and what makes them so unique. So right off the bat, you can see that our sauces really stand out. It's also what's inside of the momos that truly count. They're filled with an array of different vegetables, seasoned to perfection with different aromatics like ginger garlic paste, cumin, and coriander. So all of these things infused together and steamed at the perfect temperature gives you an explosion of flavor with every single bite. This is how it all comes together. So behind the scenes, it's a very delicate process. We use a family recipe that's been perfected throughout generations, and we handcraft our momos individually to make sure they meet our quality standards. On the flip side though, for our customers, we keep things super simple. It's an easy 3-step process where they pick their plate of 3 or 6 momos, pick their filling, chicken, pork, or veggie, and top it off with our secret sauces. So we've been going hard at this for about 10 months now, and we've achieved some huge milestones. To date, we've sold over 15,000 momos, equating to roughly $23,000 in revenue. One of the coolest events we've done so far has been the Dallas Observer Brewfest event. Now, Brewfest is the largest beer festival here in Dallas, and the cool part was Dallas Observer reached out to us and said, hey, let's partner together because of word of mouth and our social media game. That was awesome. The most monumental win this far, though, has been getting featured on D Magazine. Everyone in this room knows D Magazine. They're a huge media outlet here in Dallas, so getting featured on their article was a blessing and a dream come true. Because of everything that we've achieved so far, we know that there's a greater opportunity out there for us, so we're focusing on packaging our momos next. The annual Asian packaged food spend throughout the US is roughly $2 billion. Now, we believe we can capture at least 0.5% of that, which brings us to 100 million nationwide. Now that's a huge number, so we have to reverse engineer and work our way backwards. So we're breaking that number down a little and looking at Texas-wide first. That comes down to 18 million. But again, this will not happen overnight. We have to start the journey somewhere. So our initial focus will be on the Dallas market, where the total serviceable number is roughly about $1 million. This is absolutely feasible. And the great news here is we've already been testing the Dallas market since December 23rd, 2017 with our very first event. This year, we've been focused on expanding our brand and our reach with different types of events like Plano Asia Fest, tons of brewery events, as well as awesome events hosted by a prominent Vietnamese restaurant right here in Dallas, Sandwich Shack. Moving forward in 2019, we're going into full growth mode. That means offering catering services, expanding our menu with different types of dumplings, sweet and savory, as well as piloting packaged momos at our pop-up events, as well as local markets throughout Dallas. This will help us get one step closer to our big goal. Our 2020 and beyond goal, we're going nationwide. That means packaging and distribution of our momos, so momos can be easily accessible throughout the nation. We're gonna have to do this by scaling and automating the process, but we're gonna work with wholesale and retail channels so that momos are all throughout the nation. This is a huge, huge goal, but we have the right team that can execute this. Truth is, we all come from different parts of the world. Mexico City, Vietnam, and Nepal. But our paths crossed right here at UT Dallas. We wouldn't be standing here if one of us was missing from this picture. Daniel has a strong entrepreneurial background, and he brings that critical experience to the team. Thang helps us understand numbers and equips us to make smart business decisions. Both of these guys are critical in sharing the Momo Shack brand. Myself, I'm passionate about momos and I truly believe in their potential. And then there's my mom. She's the heart and soul of everything that we do. She's the one that's perfected the family recipe. She's the one that innovates in the kitchen because she loves sharing culture through good, authentic food. This is what Momo Shack's all about, and this is how we're completely redefining the dumpling experience, one momo at a time. Thank you.
Well done. Now I'm hungry. Oh, you got served some momo?
Yes.
Well, how was it?
I don't think anybody's had it yet.
Yeah, what? You gotta take them home. You guys can talk and chew at the same time and ask some questions from Momo Shack.
Lovely. Got a kick to it. I like that.
So do you guys have a food truck or anything right now? Where are you selling today other than at festivals?
Right now, we're mainly operating as a pop-up brand. And we mainly operate through festivals and events with Sandwich Shack or breweries events with Dallas Observer. Right now, we don't have an actual physical location yet.
Oh my god, I've got so many questions. I'll make them real quick. Your social. Obviously, you know, you're young, you're hip. Your social isn't great. What are you doing about it?
So when it comes to social media strategy, we try to keep things super organic. So honestly, it's 3 good friends who come up with content that's really organic, and if it hits with us, we try to just spread it. But we use our social media to really expand and get the word out, so that whenever we're doing these pop-up events, we can get as many people as possible. We don't do that many events, we get it because we don't have a physical location.
Yeah.
But we've only been in business for about 10 months, so that's kind of what our strategy is right now.
Okay, wonderful presentation. By the way, I should have said that first. Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Post more often.
Yeah.
You need to post more often.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's not just to be cool. Like it literally does help engagement. Like post every day, use stories. That really will help you. Okay. How much does it cost at retail? Did you say that?
So currently we do 3 for $5 or 6 for $8.
And how much does it cost to produce?
66 cents to make one.
Great. Great.
FYI, you posted 2 days ago. That was your last post. So.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, we're gonna need to talk a little bit more, sir.
I would also ask the influencer maybe to give you a shout out.
Yes.
Hey.
Well done. Okay. First of all, I'm not selling a product. I'm just selling a product. Okay. No.
Brian, look at what Brian posted. What did he post?
Yeah, when did you post?
3 months ago.
Oh, Brian! Go bye. Is there anybody else making these?
Sorry?
Is anybody else making this product? Like, do you?
Oh, in terms of competitors?
Yeah, have you ever been to a restaurant that sells these, or is there another fast food place?
No, absolutely. So there's Nepali restaurants in Irving that typically sell them, but we're focused mainly in the Dallas area, which doesn't exist right now.
Okay. Final question, I promise you. Is it franchisable? Like, are you trying to get to the point where you can have franchise versions of this brand all over?
That's definitely a feasible option, but our initial goal is to really package our momos because, at these pop-up events, because there's that scarcity aspect of it, we get customers wanting more, and because we're not available all the time, our goal is to package them up so we can sell them at those retail stores.
Very, very good presentation, you boys. Very, very good.
Follow Momo Shack dumplings right there. Look at that. They said it's
my mom's actually in Miami partying it up right now, so.
Give it up for Momo Shack, everybody.
Oh wait, one more comment. These guys killed it, so you've got a mouthful of food. Don't go yet.
He's gone. He's back, he's back.
One thing the judges and the audience should know is that you were very smart actually. You slid into my DMs and Twitter, and you made sure that I knew about you, and I know it's not that important, but you should be hitting up influencers like me to talk about your brand. So if nothing else, very good that was a very good marketing trick. Well done, you.
Well done.
And I just might give you a shout out later on today.
Oh, come on. Man, just do it.
I will, of course I will.
Yes, you will.
No, but I'm gonna finish these.
All right, the boys are cleaning it up. Did we not feed Tan?
No, you did not. No, you did. They did.
They did. It's back about this Momo. All right, moving on. Good job, Momo Shack. Let's bring out Thread AI.
Shopping usually involves one of two options. You either go to the store or you buy it online. But these days, more and more people are opting for that box on their doorstep, which is putting a strain on traditional stores. Online stores have been so finely tuned, they can reasonably tell us that red buttons sell better than blue ones. But in the brick and mortar world, where the majority of spending still takes place, these tools have not been available, and it's all been about following trends and intuition. Hi, I'm Pablo, and this is Row 1, and we're with Thread AI. We sought to bring the same sort of comprehensive, measurable analytics available to online websites, so that retailers are able to optimize the same way their online counterparts can. So how does it work? Well, everybody take a look at your phone. Is the Wi-Fi enabled? Statistically speaking, 87% of you have Wi-Fi enabled devices that are constantly trying to identify with different access points. Our hardware listens passively to this information and is able to gather this for business owners so they are able to know who's there. Now, even the smallest of businesses can actually access this information and make use of it, such as knowing when to be in the back room because you expect an influx of customers or not, or be in the front waiting for them. And speaking of customers, let me highlight some of our customers. All three of these guys are in different industries, but they all share the same need of real data of user behavior in and around their venue. EarthX, one of the largest environmental conferences here, hosted in Dallas, used one of our earlier prototypes to analyze popular areas of the park, as well as identifying bottlenecks, so they could better the flow of their attendees.
We make our money through a combination of hardware sales and access to our subscription, which grants access to our insights model online. With our tools, you'll be able to answer questions like, how do I staff my store? Where should I place my product? And how does the weather affect my business? Did you know that Pop-Tarts sell 7 times more when there is bad weather forecasted in the area? These are the same types of insights that we interface to our customers, enabling them to make data-driven decisions. We are growing through competitors' limitations by being the first to develop a passive Wi-Fi aggregation device. We are 10 times cheaper and provide more accurate data than our closest competitor. Installation is easy, and all data is anonymized. Additionally, Thread AI is passive, meaning that end users do not need to interact with third-party software to begin collecting data. You don't need to be in Amazon Go or Nordstrom's to begin collecting the data that you need We are equipping our customers with the edge that they need in an increasingly aggressive market. When studying the market, we really wanted to understand why today's retailers are not utilizing existing solutions. We found that for a retailer today to afford one of these existing solutions would have to generate over $5 million in net revenue to justify the expense. This is representative of 27% of retailers today, which is underserved and worth over $500 million in missed revenue. In regards to our product market fit, all of our retail customers that have trialed with us have converted into full paying customers. This is our team. Pablo has been instrumental in creating multiple 7-figure startups. Hila runs Hackdeep W. Eric has extensive connections to customers in the area, and I come from a strategy and technology background. Our team understands technology, but also the dynamics behind the retail market. These are mentors and advisors who have helped us understand customer needs and the market. For example, Mark works at Freeman. Freeman puts on 70% of the trade shows and conferences in the US today, including CES and South by Southwest. Trammell is the founder of Earth Day Texas and one of our very first customers. Before we were even a company, customers were coming to us looking for a solution and were willing to pay for it. We've incorporated, and since then, doubled our customer base and are currently exploring adjacent customer segments. Foot traffic analytics is industry agnostic, and so is our product. And for us, we see the greatest growth and disruption with our technology in the conferences segment, where our profit margins are over 70% due to low cost and easy implementation. Our roadmap for the future includes product enhancements such as new AI-driven features and support for multi-region availability. In summary, we're an experienced team deploying a disruptively priced technology in a growing market. We've tested our product across various industries with our paying customers, and we want your help in making foot traffic analytics available to everyone. Thank you.
By the way, I want to say she's right. I just bought Pop-Tarts yesterday. Swear to God.
So let's check out the product.
Okay.
Don't break that one, Tam, please.
Tell me about your competition.
All right, so we have tons of competition, but they do a lot of different things. So some do like heat mapping through thermal tracking. Some are pressure sensors on the floor, so as you're walking, they count how many people are there. A lot of companies also do cameras, so tracking your face and finding out if you're there. But with heat tracking, heat sensing, you can't actually identify unique individuals walking through the store and figure out their path. You can with cameras, but I don't think everybody wants to have their cameras posted everywhere, or their faces posted everywhere. So yes, those are some of the other things that companies are doing.
First of all, Cafe Izmir is delicious.
It is.
Second of all, can you tell me what you guys are currently in Cafe Izmir?
Yes.
Tell me kind of, just so we can understand, everybody in the room can understand like a real world example of how this works. What did Cafe Izmir ask you to do? What do they want from you? What are they expecting from, like, with the data that you're going to provide them?
Yeah, absolutely. So Cafe Izmir, as you know, it's in the middle of downtown Dallas. A lot of foot traffic, but they don't know how much foot traffic is actually there. They are coming up to an end of a 10-year lease, and they're expecting that the landlord is going to up their lease prices. But they want to have hard facts on what actually is going on around that area. Are those hikes actually justified or not? And so they're able to actually use that data to help negotiate their lease prices.
Brian, you're not going to comment on his socks. He has minions on his socks.
I just thought it was a given.
Those are awesome.
We don't know this yet.
Strong. Sock game's real strong.
How big do you think the market is for this product?
We do have a slide for that. So here's our market. The total addressable market for conferences, we only calculate for Dallas and Vegas as we see the most active ones that are easily reachable.
I'm trying to figure out the right questions to ask.
I know. So you guys are doing MAC address sniffing, basically.
Right.
Correct. Is there a way for you to create almost an application that sits on top of Unify and Meraki and all those guys so that you can leverage their hardware and just have an analytics stack on top of it?
Great question. So a lot of people already do that. And the issue with it is who has time or money to implement Cisco? The infrastructure is over average about $20,000 a year. And a location with 2 or 3 stores cannot really afford that. And so that's basically a 1/3 of the market that's just left open because Cisco would rather serve the big enterprise customers. So our device is very low cost, and anyone can implement it, which makes it just the easiest tool for someone with a small retail location to put on.
How long have you guys had this business? And is it just this one cafe, Cafe Izmir that has it right now? No? Are there more locations?
So we have 7 retail locations. Paying customers.
Yeah, paying customers.
Paying. We also have one set up on a building here at UTD where there's a lot of people. It's a makerspace. Okay. And nearby research labs want to take over the space, but the students are not there at 8 a.m. So the research labs would say, hey, no one's there at 8 a.m. Why are you using this space? It's a lot of money for the school.
How does this thing just scale? How does it get bigger other than 7? Because it seems like this could be something that happens really quickly and rapidly.
Correct.
Why isn't it bigger?
Oh, why isn't it bigger? So as you saw with some of our competitors, they're very expensive, so it's hard for people to implement those in the stores. The way we see our largest growth is through conferences. Conferences, they want to know how people are actually using the venue, where they're going, what activations are actually popular. And one of our mentors is with Freeman, and if you're not familiar with Freeman, they put on some of the largest conferences in the United States, like CES, all that kind of stuff. And so implementing our type of technology at booths would enable exhibitors to actually understand how many people came by our booth, and then also get the ROI, like, was it actually worth my time spending that money to be at this exhibit?
You have strong advisors.
Yes, thank you.
How did you make those relationships?
So for me, I run Hack DFW. It's a well-known nonprofit in the area, and just being active in the developer community, the hacker community, was able to gain that. So Freeman actually was one of our clients for Hack DFW in the past. They were looking for something similar to this.
We good? Give it up for Threat AI. Everybody got a strong shot going too. Well done, guys. I do have strong sock game, Brian. Look, it's me and my wife. Yeah. Got them from Facebook. Yeah.
That's ingenious. Are they all sock?
Strong sock game or whipped? You be the judge. I don't know. All right, moving on to our final presentation of the day. Please welcome Sahaj.
One in 13 Americans suffer from irreparable vision loss. Ladies and gentlemen, judges, do not rub your eyes. Don't adjust your glasses, because what you're experiencing right now is what over 25 million Americans experience every single day due to vision loss. In fact, what's alarming is that this number is increasing at a rapid rate of 20% every decade. My name is Maitreya, and we are Sahaj. Having been a volunteer at blind schools, I have seen firsthand how difficult a task as simple as moving from one place to another is. Overhead accidents due to obstacles, there's a steep learning curve associated with existing solutions, and more importantly, to live in that constant dependence, that fear of safety. Neva Fairchild, a counselor at the American Foundation for the Blind, has trained over hundreds of people in a 25-year career span and has tested out all the products in the market, and none of them were effective. So we got together and started questioning, what if there was a product in the market that could detect obstacles and provide the user with an update? What if that same product could provide the user with live public transit updates depending on their current location? And overall, what if there was a product that broke the stigma associated with vision loss and provided them with the independence that they deserve? Let's see Neva use our prototype.
Tells me I'm very close. There's that high pitch.
Time is 13:23. EDA is 13:41 in 18 minutes.
Pedestrian crossing. Traffic light.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw is our first generation smart glasses with built-in sonar, Bluetooth, computer vision, and GPS technology. This provides us with an opportunity to provide the users with the solution that they were looking for in an effective and, more importantly, in a very decent manner. And so let's take a look at how we fare up with the competition. On one hand, we have canes, which are cheap but not as effective for obstacles anywhere that's above the knee height. And then we have service dogs and smart canes that are ridiculously priced anywhere between $1,100 to $1,200, keeping it out of reach to many of our customers. And so we found an opportunity to be a product, a solution that is available at a low cost. And so the current business model that we are following is our customers can get our product in their hands at $199. We have a fixed cost associated with it for $50,000 as an infrastructure cost and a variable cost at $40 per unit. Most importantly, we break even at 315 units. And so when I set on a mission 8 months ago to solve this issue, we started off by validating the problem statement and tying up with many firms such as American Foundation for the Blind, Dallas Lighthouse, and also Braille Institute. We've also partnered with My Right Dallas as a strategic relationship to understand what the ecosystem has to offer. And then we've created multiple prototypes, constantly evolving based on user tests and their feedback. And today, I'm proud to announce that we've received a non-binding letter of intent for 500 units, which means we not only break even, but are also profitable in the first year of operations itself. More importantly, it gives us a clear mission 8 to 12 months from now. We want to create a minimum viable product and fulfill the order that we've received and continue constantly testing and revising our product and then get into mass manufacturing. More importantly, this cannot be done without a great team, and I had a wonderful team that kept pushing the boundaries. Kranti with his engineering prowess, and obviously Neva Fairchild with the design, and more importantly, user experience that have guided us in the right direction. And so, I want to end by saying we're in the 21st century where technology can solve many problems, and yet there is no decent solution that breaks that stigma related to vision loss. And so we decided that we can bring out a product that can change and directly impact by enhancing the lives of many blind and visually impaired people. We are Sahaj. Thank you so much.
Sahaj, more like so awesome. And the judges will have some questions for you guys.
Young man, hello. A fantastic presentation, fantastic. I've got one question, please.
Sure.
This picture that you have of the glasses looks very different to the one that, I'm sorry madam, I didn't catch your name.
Neva.
Neva? That Neva was wearing. What's the difference between the two?
So this is the final design that we're aiming for. Currently we're at a prototyping stage.
Okay.
And so what you saw in the video is something that we've put together to showcase the functionality.
So it will look like this once it's done?
That is the aim.
When is that?
6 to 8 months from now.
And what did the current order place, the 500?
500 units.
Did they place that order with that model or this model?
So
With the video model or this model?
So the one that we showed them was the basic functional prototype, and that only uses the ultrasonic sensors. We haven't introduced computer vision yet. That's something that we're testing. And one of the reasons we were doing that is because if you involve computer vision, it has to undergo federal FDA approval.
Okay.
It's a class 2 device, but with this prototype that we have, it doesn't need any testing. It's exempted. And so the one that we received an order for is
the original version,
correct.
not this one.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Where are you selling this? Like, where would this sell?
Okay, as far as our distribution channel is concerned, we're looking at 3 channels. We want to go B2B, primarily because these would be through credible resources. And so we're looking at authorized resellers for assistive technology products, and also insurance companies or blind institutes that are available in the market, and also through ophthalmologists.
Are there any platforms you can develop this on, like Google Glass for Enterprise or any of the mixed reality headsets?
There are certainly smart glasses out there in the market, but again, if you're using current infrastructure that's available, Explorer Edition for Google Lens is anywhere between $1,100 to $1,200. So our aim was to create a wearable that we can manufacture and keep the costs low.
Who else is helping with the business? Is there anybody who's had business experience?
Yes, we have 2 advisors on the board, and if I could go back. Yes, Dr. Dennis Park, who was a former venture capitalist and currently a full-time professor here at UTD, and Mr. Sahaj Chakravarti, who has more than 25 years of experience.
Can I hear a use case? What are your comments?
So this device would allow me to move safely within an environment, and even though I use a dog guide, if there's something low hanging or if I'm going to bend over to pick up something, it's very easy for me to hit my face. when I'm in a large open space like the lobby of a hotel and I'm looking for an opening like to a hallway to walk down, then this device would allow me to walk the direction I know the hallway to be, but when I hear a noise, I can turn my head till the noise stops. That's the hallway. I can aim myself toward that hallway and hit the mark much faster and easier than asking someone, where's the hallway? It increases my independence and increases my efficiency too.
So, Anita, this is awesome. So, what for you as someone who's kind of, I guess, struggled through this for a bit? What else exists out there like this?
There's nothing that's wearable for this type of technology. There's a product that's on the market that, correct me if I'm wrong, it's around $350. That you wear on your chest, like a big thing on your chest.
Like a laser tag thing?
Yeah. And not something I'm interested in doing, first of all. And it buzzes. It has two settings, outdoor and indoor, which are the kind of distances you're usually farther away from things when you're outdoors, so it reaches farther, and it buzzes. The final prototype on this is going to vibrate, so there's no noise, so that people around you aren't going, what was that? Are you buzzing?
Neva, I'm not suggesting you get rid of your beautiful dog, because I can tell he's an angel. But do you truly believe that this could take the place of a guide dog?
In the future, I believe it could. Not now. It would enhance what I do with my dog.
Okay.
Because at this point, it cannot detect drop-offs or changes in elevation, like steps or curves. And so my dog watches for that, or a cane. I can use a long white cane as well. But this would allow me to walk down an unknown sidewalk in a neighborhood I've never been in before and walk with confidence that I'm not going to bang my forehead on a tree limb that's hanging out over the sidewalk.
And do you guys have plans to implement those changes? Are you working on those already? Elevation changes?
So one way of tackling that is a couple of years down the line, we're looking at computer vision to be our primary technology for this. And so once we introduce cameras, which can actually take a 180-degree field of view, we can then use artificial intelligence and machine learning to recognize steps, potholes, traffic lights, intersections, something that we've already tested and got it to a certain level, but it requires a lot more data to gather.
Give it up for Sahaj, everybody. Good job, guys. All right, judges. You have a tough task ahead. Now you get to go backstage and deliberate. So please head off. Good luck. Because we do a segment on our show called Fun Do or Fun Don't on the Kickraddick Morning Show, and all 5 of those would have been fun do's for sure. I mean 6 or 6. I don't know how to count. I'm still learning. As the judges head on off, we now want to shift your attention to the Special Recognition Awards. Now, this is a series of awards recognizing individuals and ventures in other areas of UT Dallas or for other achievements in entrepreneurship. So I'm going to bring out some people. Please welcome to the stage Chris Boddy, Assistant Dean for Development and Alumni Relations, and Rod Wetterskog, Assistant Dean of Corporate Relations for the Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science, to present the 2018 UT Design Startup Challenge Awards.
It's now time to announce the 2018-2019 UT Design Startup Challenge winners. UT Design Startup Challenge is a partnership between Blackstone Launchpad and the UT Design program, in which someone in the UT Dallas community has a startup business idea that requires a product to be designed and built. Over 150 applications were submitted to Blackstone Launchpad this year, with 11 finalists pitching their idea to the UT Design Capstone Academic Leadership Team. One has been selected to receive a $15,000 prize, including a UT Design Capstone team, and 2 have been selected to receive a $20,000 prize, including cash, and a UT Design Capstone team. UT Design Senior Capstone is a required course for all Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science undergraduates. This year, over 800 seniors will take UT Design Capstone and work on a team to design and build a solution to a customer's problem. The team, typically comprised of 4 to 6 students, a faculty advisor, and the customer, will define the problem, ideate several solutions, and pick one of those options to design, build, and test the solution. 100% of the results are owned by the customer. UT Design teams have won first place in the National Capstone Competition and the American Society of Mechanical Engineering Student Design Competition. Are you ready for this? Since 2014, first place in the country. And now, please welcome Chris Body, the Assistant Dean for Development and Alumni Relations, to introduce the partnering sponsor, the presenting sponsor, for this year's Big Idea Competition.
Thank you, Rod. Good evening, everyone. We are so excited about this partnership between the Blackstone Launchpad and UT Design, as it represents the basis of the Johnson School's Fearless 2020 initiative, which is a campaign focused on imparting knowledge to the next generation of leaders and providing greater access and opportunities for our students. This new partnership was envisioned 2 years ago and was implemented last year for the first time with the generous support of our founding sponsors, Plains Capital Bank and Naya Ventures. This year, we are excited to have the wonderful support of BioWorld. BioWorld is the industry leader in licensed and branded apparel and accessories for some of the biggest entertainment brands in the world. BioWorld creates apparel, bags, sleepwear, headwear, and accessories for men, women, and kids. Headquartered in Dallas, Texas, BioWorld has offices in Europe, China, India, and Canada as well. With its international presence, BioWorld is the global leader in delivering products to all levels of retail distribution. BioWorld was founded by Raj Malik, who currently serves as the company's CEO and founder. Over the past several years, I've had a chance to get to know Raj personally, and I must say that he has an amazing story as an entrepreneur, as he literally started the company with himself alone as the single employee. But today, the company flourishes and employs over 500 individuals worldwide. Raj has been a huge advocate for UT Dallas as a supporter of our entrepreneurship programs through the Johnson School of Engineering and Computer Science, as well as the Jindal School of Management. He is the epitome of a humble leader with a servant's heart. Raj is passionate about giving back to the community and exemplifies that through his actions. Without his support, these next 7 awards to entrepreneurs would not have been possible. And for that, we are forever grateful. Here to congratulate our winners is Raj Malik, CEO and founder of BioWorld. Please join me in welcoming Raj to the stage.
Again, thank you, Raj. Our first awardee, please join me in welcoming to the stage, Hobo Loco. Hobo Loco is a new type of virtual reality and game controller that gives players an intuitive and natural way to control movement using their feet. The foot-operated controllers enable those unable to use hand controllers to play video games, while offloading locomotion from hand controls for others. Hobo Loco has already created a seat version of the concept that's going through the testing cycle as we speak. They look forward to having a capstone design team to demonstrate the standing version. Hobo Loco, on behalf of BioWorld and UT Design Capstone, congratulations on receiving this award for $15,000. Please join me in congratulating Hobo Loco. And now for our second award, a $20,000 award comprised of cash and UT Design Capstone team sponsored by, again, our good friends at BioWorld. Join me in welcoming Thread AI to the platform. Thread AI. All right, as you already know, Thread AI is using smart devices and Wi-Fi infrastructure to capture and analyze physical world data. much as online retailers have been able to do for some time, but at a cost significantly less than current providers. The UT Design Capstone team will redesign their network architecture, adding sensors and user experience software to increase access functionality and zone notification, and provide one streamlined artificial intelligence product. Thread AI, on behalf of BioWorld and UT Design, congratulations on receiving $20,000. Please join me in congratulating you. And now, our third award. Join me in welcoming Sahaj to the platform as the recipient of the final $20,000 UT Design Capstone Startup Challenge. Again, as you just heard, Sahaj Inc. wants to help the millions of visually impaired and blind people in the United States as they attempt independent mobility. Current products are expensive, complicated, and require intense training. Canes and service dogs do not prevent injuries from overhead. Sahaj has created an assistive technology smart device that detects overhead obstacles and provides the user with public transportation updates based on current location. The UT Design Capstone team will design, build, and test a pair of smart glasses with proprietary sensors and camera that will assist blind and visually impaired people with obstacle detection. Sahaj, on behalf of BioWorld and UT Design, congratulations on receiving this award for $20,000.
Again, congratulations to Hobo Loco, Thread AI, and Sahaj for winning the UT Design Startup Challenge. And special thanks to Raj Malik and our friends at BioWorld for your generous support. Join me one last time in congratulating our winners and thanking our sponsors. And now a few words from Raj.
I just want to say, he said I only get 10 seconds, so I truly want to thank Chris and the UTD team for doing such an amazing job. I wish I had these kind of facilities 30 years ago when I came into the country, but these kids would have me beat in no time. These kids are amazing. What an amazing competition, and thank you, Chris, for organizing this. Thank you.
You stay up here for the picture, bro. Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations to the winners. Now we're going to go to the next series of awards, recognizing achievement by UT Dallas alumni, students, or staff and faculty in a variety of categories of merit. Now, to present these awards, please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Diane McNulty, Associate Dean, External Affairs and Corporate Development for the Naveen Jindal School of Management, and Steve Ginrich, Executive Director, and Dresden Goldberg, Assistant Director of the Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship at UT Dallas. That's right. The first award is for the Best Undergraduate Pitch. This award recognizes a team comprised of undergraduate students with the best company progress and pitch. And the Best Undergraduate Pitch Award goes to Thread AI. Welcome back to the stage, guys. Welcome back. I know you barely sat down. I know it's tough. That's what we call a picture up. Looks nice. Smile big. Congratulations, guys. Next up, the Innovate Her Award recognizes achievement for the best new woman-led or co-founded startup idea. And you already heard her earlier. We fell in love with her and her wardrobe. The Innovate Her Award goes to Code Blue Jewelry. It's you. You're not dreaming. Thank you, Coach. All the ladies thinking, where can I get those shoes? Right, I know. The next award recognizes a venture or entrepreneur whose idea is judged to have significant positive social impact. And this year's recipient of the biggest social impact award is Seed Boost. Real quick, since we didn't get to talk to you earlier, can you tell us a little bit about Seed Boost?
Presentation.
You took that mic then, I'll take my mic back.
So, the girl in the chair is named Megan, and she has a disease called Stargardt's, which is a form of central vision loss. So imagine that you have a big black spot in the middle of your vision, and it never goes away. So in order to see, you have to use your peripheral vision. Your peripheral vision is significantly lower acuity than your central vision. So as a result, you can't recognize people's faces, you can't read a book, you can't see what's written on the whiteboard in a classroom. So this on the left side is Megan, and on the right side is what we developed 6 years ago at UT Dallas to help improve her visual acuity, to enable her to do those things again. 6 years later, the following year, we started a company called Evergaze, and we make a product called C-Boost. This product is the hearing aid for the eye. So, just like a hearing aid you put in your ear that helps you see better, we're a pair of glasses you stick on that help you see better. So the 4 people you see in these pictures here all have one thing in common. Besides having central vision loss, each one of them has an activity in life that they enjoy that without assistive technology like C-Boost, they would be unable to do these activities. Thank you.
Awesome. Did you get our picture? I want to see that pretty face, man. You know what I mean? Give it up for C-Boost, everybody. And the final special recognition award recognizes a venture or entrepreneur that is judged to have created the most disruptive product or service innovation. And this year's recipient of the biggest idea award is Ariel. Or Ariel. Yeah. It'd be really cool if you could tell us about your product. Do you have a thing too? Oh.
How's it going? My name is Kevin Hart. I'm the founder and CEO of Ariel. We're a geospatial augmented reality platform. We patented and created the ability to place 2D, 3D, video, and interactive content based off of longitude, latitude, and altitude coordinates. This means that we can place any content anywhere in the world instantly without having the limitation on dimensions or experience. This means from a behavior standpoint, we can change people from looking down at their phone and neglecting the environment around them to enabling a world full of new experiences. Our technology is a platform, meaning we have scaled across many different verticals, including sports, entertainment, Internet of Things, telecommunications, and others. We have clients of the like of Dallas Mavericks, College Football Playoffs, Shark Week for the Discovery Channel, Arsenal in the UK, and even Nike. We are now going to be raising our own funds to be creating a content management system that allows both non-developers and developers the ability to create, deploy, and manage their own AR experiences without ever having to write code. If you're interested in seeing some examples or have more questions outside of what this 2 minutes allows me to say, please visit me outside. I'm happy to address them. Thank you.
Well played. Well played. $5,000 richer, my man over here. He is. Give it up for Ariel. you want to talk to him, he's open. He told you. Go say what's up. Now, I do believe that the judges have reached their decision. But at least we're going to check and make sure. Because sometimes I like to chat a little bit longer. Oh, they are ready. All right. So let's give a round of applause to thank all of our judges, first of all. And please welcome back to the stage, Tan France, and the title sponsor of the 2018 Big Idea Competition Awards, Interlock Partners co-founder, Jason Story. Now we're going to give away the big money, Tan. Are you ready?
Oh, wait, I love giving away money.
But not your own money, right?
Never.
Never yours.
But I love changing people's lives, so yes.
Well, we're doing that tonight. We're waiting on the envelopes real quick. You have them? No. Oh, you left them in the back. We'll get them. Oh, you already know the award winners? Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and do it. See, I thought we were gonna do like, I was gonna feel like I was at the Grammys and we're gonna open it. Cause you get to go. You wanna go, well, I do music, Tan. All right, so we'll go ahead and do the third place award. $5,000 for third place. I see my man got me. Oh, I'm doing it? This is third place, $5,000. It's harder than I thought it was going to be, guys. And the winner is Tan
Sahaj!
Yeah, you win. Look at that. Would you like to say something? Yeah.
It's actually a great feeling to win, and more importantly, I've been trying to get into the Big Idea competition and on the stage for 2 years. Thank you, Neva. Thank you, my team. Thank you, Brian, for this opportunity.
Well done.
Is somebody taking a photo?
I have to take a picture. This is a squad right here. Tan does say post more on Instagram. All right, now we're doing second place. Second place winner is
Sahaj PDMS.
There you go. $10,000 for you. Oh, you get your envelope. Here you go. Look, that's cool. And also, I need to get rid of them. Any words? No, he says thank you. He's like, what? I already spoke for 3 minutes. What more do you want from me, people? Good job, man. Congratulations. Yeah, it's not practice. It's tough. It's time for first place. This is $25,000. Don't cheat, man. Don't cheat. All right, first place.
I don't need that. These guys were incredible. It is Survivor.
Although we're not fans of the name.
excitement right there. Congratulations to all the contestants. And now, Tan, I invite you to come sit down with me. Oh yeah, yeah. No, you and I are gonna have a fireside chat. Where's the fire? There's no fire. Oh, it's coming? We are gonna have a fire? Is that, cause that's not code, man. I didn't see any firefighters out here. Our chairs are coming, Tan.
Oh yes, that's too high.
It's okay. There's police officers here, they saw what happened. We're gonna grab you a mic. Should I grab this mic right here? Here you go, Tan. You get your own mic.
Is anybody else freezing or is it just me?
I'll take in charge of that one.
Is it so cold?
It's cold in Dallas, man. Where do you live nowadays, Tan?
Kansas City, shooting the show.
So you have to take a break from shooting the show right now to come say what's up.
Yes, I came here for 24 hours and I'm very happy to be here. Dallas is quite lovely.
So what do you think of UT Dallas? What's your first impression?
The people are incredibly nice. I only went out for one quick bite yesterday. Oh gosh, I wish I knew the name. I went for tacos.
Oh, the restaurant?
Yes, I went for tacos. I don't remember where it was. But it was a lovely, lovely area and everybody was so friendly. So far so good.
Gotta make up for that cold with the warm interactions, you know. That's why we do it here in Dallas.
I know. However, I must admit, I thought it was always sunny in Texas. It's not.
No, it's been like Seattle the last couple months for some reason. It's been very rainy, right? But it's okay.
Yeah.
Now, going back to your history of how did you get into what you're doing? Like, what was your first job, Tan?
Oh, my first job was at a bookstore. I used to love to read. I still like to read, I just don't have the time. Yes, it was many, many years ago. I was 16, it was my first job. I quit really badly.
Quit or got fired?
Well, I think I was going to get fired, and I was a smart kid, and so I chose to quit instead of being fired. I would like to say I've never been fired from a job, though I've quit many.
See, that's why I was about to get fired from Linden's and things, but I was like, no, I quit before you fired me. Yeah. It's like Bed Bath & Beyond, it went under because they fired me almost. Now, why did you decide to get into entrepreneurship?
Okay, so actually let me just mention this. I'm sure that you were wondering as I was sat there, why on earth would I be invited to something like this? I'm just the guy who puts people in French talks.
But they look good, Tan.
They do,
yeah, they look
wonderful.
Of course.
But actually I did have 3 businesses. They were $1 million businesses that I started when I was 26, 25, 26. I've forgotten your question.
No, what made you get into becoming an entrepreneur?
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. When I was younger, like 12, 13, I knew that was going to be my life. My grandparents, my parents, my extended family, I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I'm Pakistani. Yes, I was hoping there'd be at least a couple of you out here. Hi. Yeah, so I'm Pakistani, British. I was born and raised in the UK, but in our community, there's a lot of entrepreneurs in our community, and that was the right path for me.
You said you started a few $1 million companies by the time you're like 26 or 3, right?
Yeah.
How did you know that it was something that was going to be successful?
Okay, here's the thing. And all of you guys who were in the competition today, I want you to hear this. If you truly don't believe that you are going to have a massively successful company, you should drop out now. I love that you may believe in your idea, but if you don't believe that you can turn it into something massive, there's no reason to go in it. So I always had confidence that I would be able to turn it into something. And it wasn't just that I liked my product, I knew I had the physical drive to be able to do it. It's a lot of hard work.
It's in life in general, if you're not nurturing something or nurturing something, it's not going to grow. So if you don't like it, it's not going to...
Yeah.
So I'm sure you had a couple that failed and you had to bite your tongue.
No. Oh, no,
100% Tan over here.
Okay, no, so I had a business that I sold a year and a half ago. Don't get me wrong, the first couple of years were hellacious. I worked every hour that God sent. And there were times that I failed in that business, but it was still the business that earned the first $1 million of anything I did.
As long as you keep trucking through those tough times, you can get out of it.
Not just that, you have to realize what's failing and not be so stubborn where you stick within it. And yes, it's good to have confidence in your business and know that you can achieve something great with it, but you have to be able to adapt it very quickly if it's not working.
I think life got a little bit easier for me. I used to tell people that my biggest fear was failing. And, you know, I would meet counselors, and what's your biggest fear? It's failing. I'm afraid of failing. Until I started failing.
Yeah.
Do you think failing is something that you should fall in love with a little bit, because through your failures you can learn what not to do?
I mean, fall in love with that, you may be firing fast and loose. I think that you have to learn to accept it. I think that to get to a certain point, you're going to have to fail a little. If you don't fail, you're not going to know what isn't going to work for you, and so it's probably better to do it earlier on in your business, in the infancy, as opposed to later on when it's a major risk you're taking. So yeah, I am glad I failed in the first couple of years, because that set me up for the rest of my career.
I guess love was the wrong word, maybe more embrace it.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yes.
I like to retract my love statement. Embrace.
In this industry, believe me, I've learned to check my words before I say them.
I don't.
Otherwise the press will say something inappropriate about me. Yes.
All the time, right?
Yes.
How about mentors? Because I know in order to succeed, you do need somebody that's sort of gone down that road. How important are mentors for you?
Very. Before I started my business, as I said, I had family members who were in this industry. But I needed somebody who was actually in the same industry completely as me, so I could understand what they did wrong. And it wasn't that I was looking for their faults, I just knew that I could learn from their faults. They were a mentor because they showed me how to build a successful company. They were the final piece in what I was looking for. But they also had some major failures, and that taught me a lot. I don't think without them I would have been able to achieve what I achieved.
Now, who's your GOAT entrepreneur? Who's the one you look up to the most? Greatest of all time, not a little.
You know, I must admit, it's not somebody that you'll see in media or the press. It's those people that I see every day who are achieving something great, who aren't the Steve Jobs. It's not the people who have millions and millions and millions of backing. It's people who have who have really saved up their money and have an angel investor. They're just the smaller businesses that manage to turn into something big. I never took investment as a business owner. I am of a certain religion, and finance and credit is not okay. I never had an overdraft. I never had a mortgage. It was against my religion. And so every penny I had in the business was mine. And so I don't see those people as the ones that are most desirable for me. I don't gravitate towards the likes of Steve Jobs. Don't get me wrong, what he's achieved is incredible, but I wanted something that was going to fit my lifestyle more.
Yeah, you go ahead and clap. That's a great answer right there. You have a really awesome job now, and it's allowed you to travel the world. And who's the coolest person you've gotten to meet in this lifestyle, this new lifestyle that you've acquired in the last few years?
Oh, that's a very hard question. I get to meet some wonderful, wonderful people. Tina Fey, I'm the biggest fan of Tina Fey.
Did you read her book, by the way?
Yeah, it's literally my favorite
Hilarious.
book. Literally my favorite book. Yes, and the first time I met her, I full-on fangirled and screamed, "I love your book!" And she was like, "Rich, calm down." And so,
and she probably did say that.
You know, she literally said, "Rich, calm down." Like, I want to be your friend. Let's calm it down. I love that very, very much.
Would you want to become partners with anybody you've met? Like Tina Fey says, "Hey, Tan, let's get together and do a product." Or do you
Yes.
You would, right?
Yes. If she said, "Let's make bleach," I'd be like, "Okay, great, that's great."
Because some people would be afraid to do that because you don't want to ruin that potential friendship that you could have.
No. Like, I would happily have children with her if she insisted. Would you not? I thought you would say not.
And that's how the press gets something and puts it out there.
They can have that.
You would have a baby with Tina Fey.
I would happily have that. Tina, if you're listening, I will happily have your children. Or maybe you need to have mine. Either way.
Now, Tan, given what you know now, if you could go back to young Tan, what is the one piece of advice you would give him? It's okay if you cry, because that's really good.
As you'll know from the show, I'm not the one who cries. Where's Anthony when you need him? He's not here. I heard somebody. He's not here. I know. I love him very much. Also, what I would tell young Tan is, don't try so hard to be something you're not. There were so many years where I so desperately wanted to be something, and I'm just going to be honest, when I was like 5 or 6, I just thought, I want to be white, it'd be so much easier. It's a really shitty feeling, but it's a feeling I had for many, many years, thinking, I want to be successful. Probably the only way I'm going to do that is by becoming white, which wasn't possible. Or I want to be successful, so I'm going to have to be straight, again, which wasn't possible. This was not a choice for me. And so I wish I could say to my younger self, you're going to be fine, just embrace who you are. And I wish I had somebody, not to sound arrogant, I wish I had somebody like me in media that could show me that I was going to be okay the way I am.
Do you have any regrets that you could go back? What's the biggest one that just popped up when I said that?
It was an ex. Other than exes, no. I don't have any regrets.
You can't live life that way, right?
You know, I fucked up a lot. Sorry, I swear a lot. I fucked up a lot when I was younger, and I did really silly things. Like I was smoking at a really young age, which is such a dumbass move.
Pot or cigarettes?
Both. If you're smoking, smoke it, like it's gross, and you're gonna kill yourself. So yeah, things like that. Yeah, absolutely, I regret. But other than that, no, I don't have regrets. They got me to where I am now. At first, I thought moving to America was the biggest mistake of my life because I was in New York and I couldn't pay rent, and I was thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna have to live on the street. Thankfully, that didn't happen, and I managed to turn it around and turn into something. But yeah, for a while, I thought moving to America was gonna be a mistake.
I bet. Then you go to Kansas City, and then you see how affordable the United States is.
I know.
Why did I go here in the first place?
I know. Yeah.
What are some habits you think that these young professionals should adopt? Maybe that you've seen other people do, or that you just.
Yeah. So I live in Utah. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, which I love very, very much. And I chose to live there because it was appropriate for the businesses that I had. I was actually producing, this is going to sound so weird, bear with me. I was producing clothing for Mormon women. They were just like regular clothes. You would never know that they were clothes especially catering to a certain market. They just have to have a higher neckline and a lower skirt. And so I knew that I had to be in a certain place for my business to succeed, because that was that was like their version of Mecca, Salt Lake City. However, what I did find is that there were other people who were doing something similar to me, but they weren't willing to fight for it, and they lost their companies very quickly. And I was like, so the advice I'll give you is, don't make investment the first thing that you reach for. What you guys are achieving today is incredible, well done, but that's not possible for a lot of people. Most of us, it's going to be hard to find investment. It's going to be hard to find a bank that will support you. Earn that money, especially if you know that you're needing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. It is possible. It's hard, but it's possible. And work at the same time. The amount of idiots I saw who would, they really were, I don't take that word back. The amount of idiots I saw who would say, I'm gonna start a business, and then they would quit their job and get investment from a bank, and then their business would be their full-time job. And I would be working like a crazy person. I was living in England at the time. Sorry, this may be too long of an answer. I know.
I like this.
Okay, but this is the real. And so I would work my temp job in the daytime, and then in the evening I would run my company. And I did that until I was 31. Like, I did that for 5 years of my business, and the business was earning really well, but I didn't want to have to pull from my business, and I wanted to be able to make sure I was putting as much into my business as physically possible. And I did almost every aspect of that business, performed every function. If I wasn't willing to learn that function and do it, I wasn't willing to ask somebody else how to do it. And also, if you've got somebody in your business and you think, I'm worried that they may be taking advantage, that's your fault. You haven't learned that, and you don't know how long that function takes. So yeah, that's how I got on in business, and I would suggest that to all of you. I know that you are a smart bunch of people, I get that, and you may not want to work a temp job for minimum wage. You want to start that business, and you want to be engrossed within it. You can be, but you should also take on another job. I'm telling you, it's going to serve you well. And almost every major success story that I know, people who, I retired at 33. And I got the job 5 days after I retired. And the reason, and the way I was able to do that, and the people who I know who also retired early, was by making sure that they worked every hour that God sent in the infancy of their businesses, so that they could live like this later on.
Ooh, my man retired at 33 now.
As you can see, I'm no longer retired. I'm now working harder than I've ever been working.
That's how it goes sometimes, man. It keeps you happy, though. You have to stay extremely organized when you're an entrepreneur. Are there any apps you use that you could show us or tell us about?
I used my phone for everything I have done for many, many years. I am a millennial. I know I may not look like it, but I am. And so yeah, I used my phone for everything, and notes, like all day, every day, I would make notes. In the middle of the night, I would wake up and I'd use my notes. And that's how I would come up with my marketing ideas for my business. And then, it may not be the kind of app you're talking about, but Instagram turned my business from a nothing business into $1 million business. Instagram. I used it.
Just by hashtags? Is that how you got?
Hashtags, exploring influencers, working with influencers. I would communicate with them through DM. Yeah, Instagram changed my life.
What's the best way to get someone? Because a lot of people reach out and they slip into the DMs, and then you notice, oh crap, they didn't respond. I'm done.
Okay.
Is this something you should be? Because there's a fine line between being extremely annoying and being aggressive towards something.
Yeah. The Momo guys, hi Momo guys, wherever you are. Oh, you're not there? Oh, they left.
Momo Shack.
You're not here?
They're making the Momo. They're right there.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Okay. They reached out and I was very happy about that. So it just depends on how you're going about it. They tagged me Wise. They DM'd me Wise. I don't read my DMs. My assistant does. So there is a certain amount you should reach out to somebody. But if you found that they haven't responded, don't reach out.
Move on.
You move on.
Now, I was going to ask you what are you most excited about, but of course it's probably your book coming out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, right? Your book comes out
Okay,
tomorrow?
so there's two.
Okay.
So there's the Queer Eye book, which comes out tomorrow. It really is good. And there's the behind the scenes pictures. There's some really good pictures. I actually love pictures. But there's also a lot of really, really good tips.
Okay.
And then my memoir comes out in May.
Okay.
And that one I'm super excited about because it tells a story that hasn't really been told before. A gay Pakistani immigrant from England. That story hasn't really been told.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet.
And so that I'm really looking forward to.
Okay, and so we can look forward to that in May of next year.
It's called Naturally Tan.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I wish I came up with that. Well played. Hey, what's your favorite thing about working on Queer Eye?
My boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You got emotional.
I know. I love them so much. People ask all the time, "Are we really this close in real life?" Yeah, you can't fake that shit. I'm not an actor.
Right.
And you'll see us on each other's Instagrams all the time. They have changed my life. I can't believe I get to work with my best friends. I feel like the luckiest boy in the world.
Do people always ask you, how do you guys not fall in love with each other? Because it's...
Yes, and let me tell you. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to school you for a second.
Yeah?
Gay men can be friends. If I paid for this mic, I would drop it. Gay men can be friends without anything else going on.
In the same way that a man and a woman can be friends.
Absolutely.
Because I see a lot of people ask you guys that, and it's like, clearly,
yes.
it's a friendship.
Yes, they are my brothers. The thought people ask about me and Anthony a lot. No, I'm a very happily married man, and Anthony is also in a relationship. Back up.
Well, let's see. What was the moment you felt like, I made it? Damn, I made it.
This is going to sound really lame, but I'm just going to tell you.
Okay, no, go ahead.
I always had this dream so I did find this helpful when I was running my companies. I would think of the thing that I wanted to achieve that would make me feel like I had made it. And that really was a good focus point for me. And mine was, so lame. Mine was, if I could, whenever I need to fly, I fly all the time. If I could fly first class to anywhere else I need to fly, anywhere else I need to get to, that would make me feel like, okay, I've made it.
When you have that lay down bed?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, that was it. I know that's a weird thing. I'm sure many people have many other things, but for me, it wasn't retiring doing it. It wasn't any of those things. It was just the luxury of being able to lay down on a plane because I fly literally 4 or 5 times a week at this point, and that's a lot.
I know. And you get that free champagne too.
I don't drink alcohol.
Oh, you don't?
I do not.
You do not, my bad. I actually knew that. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I didn't know that. I'm
Don't
sorry,
worry
Ken.
about it. Don't worry about it.
Now, if you weren't doing Queer Eye, what do you think you would be doing if you know, because there's right turns.
If not, okay, easy. Because I was retiring anyway, so it wouldn't be a job. I would be investing in wonderful companies for sure, and I would consult for companies, startups, and then all I ever want is my kids. I just want kids. I'm really mushy. I've been desperate for kids for like 10 years, and I want 6. No joke.
You want 6 kids?
I love big families. I'm from a big family. I'll have. We've agreed that we'll have maximum 4 because that's all my partner will allow. But yeah, I want kids.
And is that gonna start soon with your hubby?
Hopefully the next 2 years.
Okay. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
6 kids coming right up.
Yeah.
Any last words for the students, Stan?
Oh.
Not that you're dying
Somebody
right
stood
now.
up. Hi. Yes. Sit down. I'm almost done.
He's gonna give you advice, people.
Yeah. My advice truly is just, if you can, it's what I've already said, but I'm going to say it again. If you can avoid finance, truly, I can't stress this enough. If you can avoid finance, do it that way. Like, save up the money. Wait another 6 months or a year to start your business. If there is time, you can wait. Save up the money and get a job whilst you're working. Don't think just because you've started a business, you then can live the life of a successful business owner. I promise you it's going to be your biggest downfall and it will not succeed. Work your ass off.
Give it up for Stan, everybody. Thank you so much. Now you can stand up and clap hard like this. Yes. Give it up for Stan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
JC. Hello everyone. We just have a few brief remarks before we leave.
Do I stay?
If you would like to stay and listen, I would be honored. As he leaves. My name's Cody Myers. I'm the Assistant Director for Alumni Relations at the Jindal School. Give one more round of applause to Tan and JC as they exit. Thank you guys so much. You know, as we were up here tonight at the 12th annual Big Idea competition and watching how amazing our students are, I couldn't help but think of the great founding of our university and how unique it is that we were started by 3 entrepreneurs. And, you know, we were really fueled by the entrepreneurial spirit of this region. You know, we're not even 50 years old yet, and the Jindal School, who's a proud partner of this event, is not even 45 years old. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a little glimpse of what we've been able to achieve with this entrepreneurial spirit in the last 43-ish years. When we first opened, we only had 3 faculty members and we only had 1 master's degree. Fast forward to today, we have 335 faculty members who offer degrees in 30 different degree programs. As you all know, we didn't have freshmen whenever we first opened. And in 1990, that changed, and only 9 students in that first freshman class, one of which is here today, Paul, wherever you're at. He's in the back waving. Hi, Paul. Only 9 students chose to take a management degree. And then we look towards today, where the Jindal School has the most, or the highest percentage of students on campus. And we just welcomed our largest freshman class, so that's pretty impressive, you know, from those very humble beginnings. And of course, none of this would be possible without the support of our alumni and our great business partners in the community. You know, they often say that great universities are defined by the support that we can give to our students to succeed. And we're just very lucky every day to get to come to work and work with these great students and with our great partners. Just a brief image of that. In the last 5 years, we've been able to raise from $1.5 million to $3.5 million to support our students through scholarships and through program funds. That's an increase of 225% in just the last 5 years. Again, we're just so grateful for the IIE department and for this partnership with the Blackstone Launchpad to be a part of the Big Idea competition. And from the Jindal School and Dean Hassan Perkul, we're just so thankful for all of you guys today.
Thanks, Cody. I'm Brian Chambers, the director of the Blackstone Launchpad and the UT Dallas Seed Fund, and I'd like to first thank all of you for coming out tonight, and especially to congratulate all of our participants and award recipients for their hard work, their accomplishments this year, including those winners of JSON's prestigious Texas Business Hall of Fame Scholarship earlier this year. And to our presenting sponsors, Interlock and BioWorld, you are model entrepreneurs and community leaders who continue to pay it forward. We are forever grateful for the lasting impact you have made on our community and in our students' lives. To our sponsors, judges, and community of mentors who regularly give back, you are what makes UTD's entrepreneurship community thrive. And to our amazing staff and faculty at the Institute, who relentlessly work behind the scenes to give our students every possible competitive advantage. This could not be possible without our amazing teamwork. Thank you. Let's continue to raise the bar every year, building the best entrepreneurship program around. And to our fearless student and alumni entrepreneurs, you continue to inspire us. Building a business is very hard, and you cannot do it alone. Continue to build relationships with mentors and seek their help. And know that you will always find it at the Blackstone Launchpad and the Institute. But most importantly, keep fighting every single day, and you will be rewarded for your hard work and the risk that you have taken. And for those students who we have not yet had the opportunity to meet, if you have an idea or a new venture that you're pursuing, come see us at the Blackstone Launchpad. We would love to help. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our program. We'll see you next year for Big Idea 2019.